Good morning. Welcome to Natasha Makes. I'm Natasha of said Natasha Makes. Which if you were watching yesterday, you'd be thinking, oh, who was that? Well, that was Jane. Lovely Jane. And Gemma was there as well. She was going, me, I was there too. Yes, we know you were there as well. Gemma is now in the corner. That's where I like to put her.
Off camera.
Off camera. No, well, to be fair, that's generally where you put yourself.
Yeah.
You could come and sit in the corner here. I wouldn't mind.
Not next to you. You're a giant, so no.
Thanks. Yeah, it's put me in my place, isn't it?
The Hobbit at the side.
Yesterday, Jane made this out of beautiful, beautiful new fabrics.
Yes.
They are a bit lush.
They are.
You have been loving them.
Yes.
And then today, I bring you brand new Kaufman fabrics. They are a bit wit-woo.
They are.
They are very much wit-woo.
Yep.
You are already going crazy for them, I see, so well done to you. There are two ways in which you can get them as part of a bundle or buy the half metre cut to order, so that if you buy, say, a metre, we will cut it in an extended length for you.
I love an extended length.
Well, who doesn't? So, but then it dawned on me, Gemma, when I was putting the fabrics in here.
Yes.
Hang on a second. Wouldn't some of these...
Yeah.
look amazing.
Yeah.
With some of these.
Yeah, and I'm already sat here going, oh, hello, Ruby needs to go with that one, and the rose quartz needs to go with that one. And
we'll have a play.
I've done it. I've done it
We'll have
in
a
my
play.
head.
I think Wiz has got quite a lot as well that she's busy chopping.
She is.
For your orders, so they may or may not come back in. Depends on how much she's got to chop.
Yeah.
And if she's feeling whizzy or less whizzy.
There's a lot on the list.
Yeah. Yeah. But good morning. How are you?
Yes.
Let's see how you are today. Are you well? Let's find you, first of all. That's always a good start, isn't it, to the day? Rona's here. Morning, Rona. And Sean, hello. And Sharon and Debbie, good morning, everyone. And the Natasha Makes team. Rona says good morning, everyone, as well. There we go. We are getting there. Today's make. I'm actually going to make out of a Lisa Chandler fabric.
You are.
I am. I'm quite sad that Lisa's not reprinting this one. I don't know. She keeps chopping and changing her mind. This is your summer palace, and this is it in the blue green. I'm not demoing in this, but this one you can buy by the 60 centimetre increment. And you will get from vase to vase halfway through the gong. If so that's your 60 centimetres. Obviously, if you buy 2 increments, you will get double that, and you'll have your beautiful gong in the middle. We had great debate as to where that halfway point should be. Mm-hmm. And the gong got it.
It did, because that main tea house needed to be in the middle.
Yeah. So the gong went. So this tea house, this beautiful vase here, this one went. This one is available, like I say, 60 centimetre, good grief, 60 centimetre increments. And it's a double-edged border, by the way. So you've got exactly the same on the back. Amazing. Or
beautiful.
Reflected as you open your fabric out. Now, let me show you the whites, creams, beiges, all are so different. And impossible to match on the screen. So for those of you that might want an increment of a plain to go with it, this is vanilla.
He loves it.
I would normally have gone ivory, but went, no. Actually, vanilla has got that warmth tone. So if you are looking for a plain that works so beautifully with this, then it's going to be your vanilla. Vanilla.
Marvellous, isn't it?
It is, and a lot of you are going for this one already this morning. I've put a bundle together in the blues. I'll show you what we're actually going to make in a minute. Where you can get, apparently no zip pulls. Oh no, they're here. I don't know for my zip pulls or... So a metre of zip, because you get in 60 centimetres there, it means you can do a lot. Now, I thought you could probably do the nesting tidy with that.
Nice.
Which would be rather lovely. Not the nesting tidy, the nesting pouch trio, which would be rather gorgeous, which would give you a beautiful pouch there. You'd be able to have a little play with that. Possibly only nest 2, so a small one there and then a larger one. Don't know, but Or you can do today's make out of this fabric and have loads left over to play with. But we've given you more zip than you need there because you're getting more fabric. That's a big bundle.
And the pulls are available individually, so you
they
can
are
grab yourself some more
available.
pulls.
You can, and actually these are just the straight bar. I say just the straight bar. They're beautiful.
Yes,
They look really expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and they just feel really beautiful quality. So yeah, do grab that. Now, 2 bundles that we've got today. Both will have with it the medium firm interfacing. So you'll get a fat quarter of that. And then a fat quarter of this rather gorgeous Kaufman. Look at that. I've put it with azalea.
Because it is correct.
Because it's correct. It's correct. Or a fat quarter of this one. Oh, you see, when these came in, when we saw the supplier and she was wafting these around, I was like, yes, 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 and yes, and yes.
Yes.
They need to be here. You will get 2 zip pulls because we are making a double zip pouch, Gemalala.
Double zip pull pouch.
Double zip pull pouch. Because it's not got a double zip, it's got a double pull. Now, I obviously went home without my zip, so I had to have a rummage around. And it doesn't look awful, that zip. It's all right. But I think that this one will go with it very beautifully. So that's what you're getting in the kit. Now, why do we need a double zip pull? So that you can do that with your pouch. There it is. Yes. Okay. I've never made anything like this with a double zip pull in. Your zip pull tool will be your friend. That's what I'm going to say here. But it just needs that, oh, it just looks so lovely. We've got lots of different styles of zip pull, so it might be that you want to, look, these ones have got the little holes in the middle. It might be that you want to change your zips, your zip pulls, whatever, but you are getting everything that you need in here to make at least one of these. You'd need extra zip and extra pull if you wanted more. Now, tomorrow we make this. You can't make this out of a fat quarter.
Sneaky peek.
So if you're buying this fabric, this will make today's kit.
Yes.
If you want to buy by the ½ metre, you'd be able to make a couple of these.
Yep.
Yes, you would. I'm just trying to think. Yeah. With and you'd be able to make one of the other pouches as well. But you do need that length because this is made out of a continuous length of fabric. How beautiful is that when you open it up and you've got all of those gorgeous gourds in there. Gourds. So you want a non-directional fabric for tomorrow. I'm going to show you how to make it in a oneer, or you can do a patchwork version, which I'm not allowed to show you. So if you are, only because technically this doesn't launch until next week. Okay, but this is the new Tilda. If we whisper, it doesn't count, right? No. This is the new Tilda. I've done it as a patchwork. Same pouch, just with patchwork. So I will show you.
It is a figment of your
both
imagination.
ways, but you didn't see that.
Everybody.
You didn't see that.
Figment.
Shh, 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 shh,
Imagination.
shh,
Here it goes.
shh, shh. That launches next week.
Yeah.
We've got it on pre-order next week.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Natalie's having a cheeky watch whilst working from home.
Oh, excellent.
She says, luckily I can't answer the phone as I've lost my voice. So I can watch uninterrupted. Well, you see, you've got to be grateful for small mercies, haven't you? Morning, Sue. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Barbara. Sonia's here as well. And Grace, good morning. And Claire, morning. And Ginny, good morning, everyone. And Jane and Sue. And Lo, good morning, Lo. I was thinking about you today. And Jan and Diane and Carol and Evelyn, good morning. And Joy. And Laxmi as well, good morning. And Chris, hello. She says, good morning, Gemma.
Oh, morning.
Yeah.
Hi.
Morning, Mary. And Pam. Good morning, beautiful people. Morning, Rebecca. Her mini beast is arriving today. I'm so excited. Do you know what, Rebecca? We have one mini beast left. This is the mini beast. This is my mini beast. Jane bought a mini beast. In fact, it's Jane's that we've got for sale. She bought a mini beast to do her free motion embroidery and then realised that it doesn't have a start-stop button, so she couldn't use it for her free motion embroidery and could not justify keeping it just a stroke. So it still comes with a year's guarantee and everything else because she's literally got it out the box. And it's up at a very good price. Those machines will not be at that price ever again. So if you have thought about it, please do get one, because the prices of machines, as everything else in the world, is rocketing. Isn't it, Gemalala? Rocketing.
Totally. I can't believe it. And I got an Textile machine, and the value now of what it's worth versus when I paid for it, I'm like, this is the best investment I've ever made.
No, it's going up and up and up, isn't it?
I haven't told Mr. Thomas, because actually, you know, he likes buying cars and then them going up in value, or the caravan, for example. He may even encourage me to get more machines while they're at a good price, because if you're buying XDEM,
it's not a bad
it's plan, like getting a new machine. It's just, it's literally been test driven. That's it. They're not even running.
No.
You know, we're talking a few stitches.
Yes. All of that.
And then if I ever wanted to change for a different one, then, you know, it's going to be worth amazing money anyway. I think this is an investment.
I'm just going to have a little play and just indulge myself over here. Don't mind me.
Indulge away, dear.
It's that time of the day. Now, did you put the names on the ends of these? Emerald. Look at the emerald with that one, picking out all the gold.
Okay.
So the Kaufmans have got all the gold and all the world in them. They're edged in gold and they are rather, rather lovely. But then you see, equally, this one is the...
Olivine, I think.
Olivine. So
Inga came up with these names. She is our resident gemologist.
I did. I asked Inga to name them.
Yeah.
And she did. And she wrote them on the plastic packaging on the outside of every single bowl. And we had a lot, didn't we? We've got like 14 different colours of these. At which point, Jane unwrapped them all and threw all the packaging in the bin.
Helpfully. Bless her.
Then,
really helpfully unwrapped them.
And us not being gemologists were like... Oh.
Alright, because I had already taken photos of the packet.
Oh, thank goodness. Gemma, you are very good at this. Gemma yesterday also saved my bacon. Shall I share?
So did.
Shall I share?
So
right.
Did.
My car needed to go for a service, so I drive all the way up from Cornwall up to Birmingham, take my car in. I dropped Mabel off here, didn't I? I came and dropped Mabel off because I thought they're not going to give me a courtesy car if I've got a dog with me.
Pleased with your adulting, weren't you?
I was proper on it on the adulting. Gonna get a whatever car it is, drive back, do my work, go back, pick it. But proper adulting, you know, proper getting stuff done. Get there. You have a driving licence? No, it's in Cornwall. Not going anywhere, am I? Not going anywhere. One little call to Gemma later. Dear work wife, would you happen to have such a thing on your phone? Yes.
As a photo of my driving licence. Random request of the day.
Yeah.
I
need a work wife.
I'm so thorough. I'm going to just call you out on work wife. I think I'm way past work wife.
I know, but Guy won't let me have you as a normal wife. I mean, he's got a point. You know, neither of us would really enjoy that, but
no.
You know. Well, this is hang on. What colour's this? This is rather fabulous.
This is ruby.
Oh,
this is absolutely one. Yes, I know.
Oh,
I was just eyeing up a minute ago.
That's a bit special, isn't it? Wow. Oh yes. Yes, and
wand,
yes.
Ooh,
yes. These are beautiful. You know, I had to order these. I did a remote walk around with a supplier. I felt a bit sick, I'm not going to lie. Not because, just the motion of the... yeah, it's not my favourite. No. And, that's rather nice though as well. Look at those. Ooh.
So you weren't here yesterday to play
No,
with
I know. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. They're a little bit bright maybe, but for these, but I don't know though. That would be... they are so special. They are super special. And actually the price is really reasonable, I thought.
Good.
Really reasonable.
We also had a one-day special deal on those yesterday, which I have had the most crazy of crazy mornings and haven't had time to take down yet. So I think we honour that for today.
Would that be the one where you get all of them?
Yes.
Would that be the 1/2 metre of... Because I think these are just the most incredible blenders.
Yeah.
And they've got that bit of zhuzh in there with that gold.
Love a bit of zhuzh. We want a bit more zhuzh in our lives, I feel. But you do. You get your 14 different half meters. This isn't the complete collection as in all the ones that P&B made. These are Natasha's favourite 14.
Yes.
So there are a complete collection of the Metallic Studio marble effects.
I just think they're stunning.
And it should be £104.86.
It should be.
And we've got it out at £83.
We have. And here's the thing. I know that at least one of you bought 2 of those, in which case you'll get a metre of each. We will cut it as a continuous length. So just bear that in mind. You know, when I do a show at Create and Craft and it's not my fabrics, I'm just there demonstrating and whatever, which generally are the cave shows and things like that. They have their fabric all pre-cut into half metre increments in the warehouse. So, you know, it's not a thing. On a Natasha Makes show, however, we cut to order. We cut your fabric to order because it's just gorgeous. Ooh, yes. Shall we make some stuff?
Oh, you do that.
Shall we?
Great idea.
Yeah. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is, well, you'll get a template with your pattern. Here's the pattern here. Double zip pull pouch. There we go. But I'm going to try something a little different. This is where Gemma goes. I've cut my pieces out and I just want to show you. I went for the vase, Gem. So I've fussy cut so that the vase will be the thing that you see. How gorgeous is that going to be?
Beautiful.
Right? Yeah. Ooh. Love this. So 2 outer pieces, 2 lining pieces. I'm going to interface these with, I've used a medium firm. I'm loving these at the moment, I have to say. I do have to say they are really good. And they're actually very affordable because they are coming off the bolt, which is always good. It's just, if we can pop you a little saving here and there, then you know, we will.
Natasha, I've just loaded the very last bundles that I can of the P&B Metallic Studio marble.
Oh, really?
Simply because that will empty some of the bolts.
I didn't want to do that on the lining. Oh, no. Right,
don't
okay.
do that, Tash.
Good. No, don't do that. I'm going to have to now line both of them.
Interface both of them.
Interface both.
Which is not what you need to do. You just.
I wasn't paying attention. This should have gone on the outside. Yeah. Interface your outers. Never mind, eh?
Interface your outers. That's all.
That was all you needed to do.
Do as Tash says, not as she does situation.
Yeah.
And we do say this about the demos. Watch them all the way through over a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Lisa Chandler calls it the cup of tea rule, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
But yeah, watch the demo all the way through. Make sure Natasha doesn't do anything slightly scatty, and then make yours later.
Yeah. Do you know what though? It's fine. We'll just leave it as it is.
But everyone loves you, Tash, because you know we all do these things.
I had a friend of mine. Yeah, I know. I had a friend of mine ring the other day, and she's like, "Tash, I want to get into presenting. What top tips can you give me?" Don't lie. When it all goes wrong, which invariably it will because it's all live, just be honest about it. Life happens, right? It's not always perfect. And we're not, you know, our minds might be on other things or whatever it is. Just don't pretend to be something you're not. I don't, you know. Hey up, there's someone small at the door.
It's so true because you just lose credibility when you do fib. It's the worst possible thing to do. I was teaching a nail class years ago and I said, I'm not going to use the word because you'll all guess what it was anyway and then I won't upset Facebook. But I said, and next we grab our, and I was supposed to say nippers.
Oh!
It didn't come out as nippers, did it? Next you grab your nippers and then, right. And I tried to carry on the sentence and then I stopped, looked at them all and went, I totally didn't get away with that, did I? And they just all burst out laughing.
Yeah, and that's just it, isn't it? You know, it just, we are very human here. Very human. Now, all I'm doing, your 1/4 inch wash away tape is going to be your friend, okay? It really is. And if you've not used it before, if you haven't got any, please get some, because it is, I promise you, going to be your friend. So you're going to remove that tape. And yes, there is a reason. Now, normally we would do a zip sandwich, would we not, Gemma? La, 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 la. We would, yes. But today, what we're going to do is just apply our zip there and work our way round. And in fact, I'm going to spin it this way, because round this corner I'm going to snip in 1/4 of an inch as we come around, just to give me that bit of ease. Now, the thing here to bear in mind is we are going around a curve, and if your wash away tape has been sitting around, or it's got hot or it's got cold, it can affect the stickiness. But what I'm going to say to you is just apply a little bit of heat just on that little 1/4 of an inch, and that really increases its bond. It's still wash away. So if you see a little bit of it and you don't want to later on, that is absolutely fine. It is still going to wash away. But I'm snipping into that corner there. For now, you want that adhesion as strong as you can, because you are going around those corners. And there you go. So just applying a little bit of heat just with the very edge of my iron. Okay. And then I'm going to change my thread in my machine, because I really want to use a variegated blue thread. Yes.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
I know, fancy schmancy, or for the
Very
beautiful
fancy
blue. And I love it. I heart it lots, Gemma Lala. I heart it lots.
Oh, you are loving these Kaufman bundles. I do just need to observe the fact that, as with previous Kaufman collections, when these fabrics are gone, we won't have them back. I know with the Aurelia collection, that disappeared in milliseconds when Tash made the fold-out case. Yes. And everyone was really upset. They couldn't get any. And we're just really sorry. But we order it months and months and months in advance.
We do order it months in advance, and I never know if you're going to like it or not. Nope. And the last thing I want is to be stuck with a lot of expensive fabric.
Yeah.
Because the Kaufman it's where is the
it's
end?
Premium, you know, it's beautiful quality, you know, on a different level, absolutely stunning. However,
I don't know where my end is.
I can see you don't know where your end is. You're butchering that.
I've now just snapped it and made a right old mess.
I can see that.
Thanks. Oh, God.
But yes, so when the Kaufman does go, it goes. And we don't like to upset everybody, but it's just how it is. Would you like to throw that here? And I will busily not fix it. Get smacked in the face by it instead.
Yeah, get smacked in the face. Soz. Right, I'm going to pick a different
Natasha.
one. I've properly...
You tashed it?
I've tashed it,
oh,
yeah.
Dear. Now, if anyone's not familiar with a tashing, it's what we all get on a regular basis. It's quite exhausting.
That sounds really wrong. I'm just going to put in the blue.
Fixed. Would you like
have you done it? Yeah.
Of course I have.
Well, don't throw it. No,
well, I don't know whether I want to throw it because it'll all unravel again.
No, you know when I said don't throw it?
I know, but I just wound it tight and then threw it. Look, I didn't throw it like you threw it.
Well, where's the end? I can't find the end.
Just brush it.
Oh, there it is. It's all right, everybody.
Oh my gosh! Listen to her. There we go. Work wife / mother, I feel.
No, look. I've had a bit of a revelation. Should I share, Gemma?
Oh, I don't know what you're about to share, so Lord help us.
So Gemma said to me ages ago, she said, you've got to listen to this audiobook.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, no, I'm way too young for any of that. Malarkey, she's like, Tash, listen to it. Everybody needs to listen to it. And it's the Davina McCall. I don't know how many of you saw her documentary, the Davina McCall new audiobook. And oh my goodness.
It's called menopausing.
It is called menopausing. And I'm just like, I'm way too young for any of that rubbish. And the crazy thing is that I identify with so many things that I just thought, I've had a couple of rough years.
Yeah.
But no. So, yeah, if any of you are feeling a little, you know, a little life weary, shall we say, yeah, then just have a little read of the book. It turns out you're not alone. which is rather fabulous.
I would say everybody should read this book. Man, woman, kitchen appliance.
Do you know what?
All read this book.
Especially men.
Yeah.
Especially men, because I don't think they have a clue.
Bless them, they've got not a clue.
Well, I mean, if women don't know.
We don't have a clue. So, and sometimes, I mean, I know that there are times where I've been totally irrational.
Yeah,
totally.
Me too.
And I just feel for anyone who's lived in my house. Because they've not necessarily understood why I've just burst into tears at not being able to work out why what I'm trying to put in the fridge won't fit.
It's annoying.
And then I look at it and realise it's the kettle. It's not supposed to fit in the fridge, you know. But I burst into tears because I'm so frustrated with myself.
Yeah, but it's true. So my message to you all today, having been listening to this up and down the motorway, is, oh my goodness, can we firstly talk about it a bit more? Yes. Secondly, can we be a bit more gentle with each other? And thirdly, can we talk about it a bit more? Anyway, if you're wondering what I am talking about, it's Davina McCall's audiobook, Menopausing. Have a look at it. It's very, very interesting. Get your husbands to listen as well, or just leave it lying around in the bathroom so they can, read it while they're abluting.
Oh, bless. So Sue says she didn't cope with the menopause well, and I haven't been either. I've been really poorly. But I've been through every different branch of the NHS. They've checked me for heart problems. They've checked me for tummy problems. They've checked me thinking I might have a brain tumour at one point, didn't they?
Yeah.
And actually, all along...
all those symptoms.
I kept saying, can you check my hormones? And they kept saying, no, you're late 30s, no, you're 40, no, you're 41. Finally, they checked my bloods at 41. And they were sky high to the point of postmenopause. And it's so frustrating.
And so common as well.
Yeah,
that's
so common. Costs them a fortune sending these departments. Look at that.
So we have just done one layer of zip.
Yes.
Right, one layer of zip. Because it's just a bit much to do it in two. If you're super duper, you might manage it. I couldn't. I wasn't. I thought slow and steady. Look at me, Gemma, learning. Slow and steady wins the race here. Rather than bish bosh tashing it everywhere, I went slow and steady. So I'm now going to apply another. This is what I mean by your tape is your friend. And ladies, if you are having a bit of a struggle, talk to someone about it and don't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power. Go and find out what's going on.
Absolutely. Sue says an all-time low was crying when my 20-plus child didn't eat all her peas. And I totally get it.
Do you know what?
Totally get it.
The dinner battles are awful. And I have been that grumpy mum. I've been shouty mum. Yeah. I've been all the mums that I swore I would never be. And just thought it was a bit of overwhelm because I've had a divorce in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's not the case. Well, I mean, I have. But,
there's that too.
There's that. But, but I think it's been really easy for people just to sweep to one side and go, oh, well, you've had a lot on your plate. Well, yeah, but so did the kids have quite a lot on their plates, including the peas. Yeah.
Yeah, too many peas.
Too many peas on your plate.
Peas.
Oh dear. So no, and look, I don't normally air any kind of laundry around here. We keep it as a nice, fun, happy space.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really important because I just hadn't realised how many people were having such a rough time. Yeah. So you can see, Gemma. I know. Look, this tape here, is go on then.
I can do it. I can do it.
Go on then.
It's here. I've got a camera.
Go on then.
There we go.
There we go. This tape here has been up and down. It's been, and the start of the tape, because it's been a bit loose, might not be quite as sticky.
Yeah, don't leave yours in the boot of the car.
No, that is
heat and freezing, and it affects adhesives. Of course, it does.
Oh my goodness! Jane went through the menopause at 38. Straight after she had her daughter, I was told over the telephone by my. Oh, lost the rest of it.
It's all right. I can pull that. Lots of people saying they're loving your weekend photos. People noticing that you've caught the sun.
Yeah.
Other people saying we all need a Gemma in our lives.
We do all need a Gemma in our lives. And that was exactly my words to the guys at the garage. I was like, everyone needs a work wife. And they just looked at me and I went, yeah.
Sharon saying it's good when you make mistakes, Natasha, as a professional, because it makes us feel it's okay when we do. Some can make you feel very bad for making mistakes and can put you off your sewing.
Do you know what?
Absolutely not. It's all about making mistakes.
It is all about making mistakes. And I'm just going to... And this is why I interface the outer fabric rather than the lining, because then I've got to apply a bit of heat to that lining, and it doesn't always like it. Yeah. So just the interfacing rather, to the wrong side of the interfacing. So my lining fabric is going face down to my outer fabric. It's, I think, I'm sure there's a way of refreshing tape, but I can't for life of me. So when it's down, just apply a little bit of heat. Or it doesn't even have to be that. Just if you've got one of these pressing mats, what I've found is just running an iron onto the pressing mat. So there's just a little bit of residual heat on that mat. Just means that tape is refreshed. Because this tape, you all saw, did not want to stick that much on this side. No. But look, I'm just coming onto that bit from the new roll of tape. And already it's starting to stick just because of that residual heat coming off that mat.
Good-o.
And that is the beauty of this tape, just knowing that. So don't think I've got to throw that tape away, because it's not cheap. It takes forever for us to get in, and it's really not cheap. So don't go throwing it away, for goodness sakes.
Claire Everett says, I was done by 40. It is a thing, and the doctors wouldn't have it. Both my mum and granny were the same, all done by 40. I have to admit, my symptoms started in my early 30s, and I kept saying, are you sure it's not this? Are you sure it's not this? They wouldn't have it. I did end up having a hysterectomy when I was 37 anyway. I am pretty sure I was already going through the menopause by then.
Hang on, I'm just going to sew around this. All these inside.
Crazy.
Looking back now, doing the research that I have, I think, I don't know if I ever shared this with everyone. When I had Emily, I was really poorly, and I never knew if I was going to be able to come back to do TV again. I would basically, what they put it down to was being allergic to baby hormones. There we go. So that is one side done. We are going to repeat this whole process to the other side. But first of all, what we're going to do, first of all, is I'm going to turn that through and top stitch. Yeah, so after I had Emily, I was super ill. And I never knew if I was going to be able to come back to work.
No.
Because my face would just explode. Yeah. And suddenly I would look like I'd been punched in the face within the space of half an hour. Yeah. It would just come up. In fact, I remember driving the kids to school and I felt a little twitch on my lip, and by the time I got there my face was so swollen, the headmistress came out to ask if I was okay. Yeah. Because it was just so awful.
You were unrecognisable.
Yeah, I'm going to top stitch all the way around there. And it was hormones, and I think that was the start for me. I really do. Here we go. Oh, we're sharing everything today, aren't we?
We are sharing everything.
I don't know if Jimmy's watching. Poor Jimmy will be like,
Jimmy isn't here, I don't think, this morning.
Oh.
Jimmy's okay. But like we say, it's so important.
The thing is, if you have a partner,
or a mother, or a friend, or a sister, or a colleague, anyone.
But I think that partners need to understand as well, because it can lead to what appears to be irrational behaviour.
Yeah.
Right. Do you know what I'm going to do now?
Oh, stunning touch. Way, there it goes.
Ha ha! Split your zip.
I think what made me really go was the fact that Davina took herself to the doctors thinking and said to them, please help me, I've got Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, no, you haven't got Alzheimer's. If you had, you wouldn't be bringing yourself to us.
Somebody else would be bringing you in, yeah.
But she was absolutely convinced she had, bless her. And
even huge. Down to your eyesight, because I said to my mum the other day about this, and I said, even down to my eyesight. She's like, you don't have bad eyesight. I was like, Mum, I wear glasses now all the time. She said, but that was just hitting 40. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because your estrogen depletes.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
All of it. And the really nice thing about it is just, thinking that you're just putting the hormones back in. You're just putting back what isn't there anymore.
Yeah. Fiona says, interesting conversation when I joined. Menopause is the worst. And it can be the worst of times, but it can be the best of times if you know what's going on, you know how to handle it, and you've got the right support. But the problem we have is no one talks about it. 51% of the population goes through this, and we learn in schools about puberty, we learn about childbirth, which is actually something that not everyone's going to go through.
Hang on.
But we don't learn about this.
And also that only 1 in 10 women is getting the medication that they could have.
Yeah. It's bonkers.
Because of a study, an incorrect study done years and years ago. Right, I've split the zip. This is why we use a continuous zip. I'm sorry if this is putting you off your cornflakes, anyone, but I think it's important.
There's a lot of comments here of people being very, glad that we're talking about it. Jane says that her GP told her over the telephone, so uncaring, but she loves Davina's menopausing book and also highly recommends it.
Yeah.
I was told over the phone by the doctor's receptionist when I rang up for my results, your results are all normal, and then she put the phone down on me. And it was only because a different GP rang up to see how I was getting on with the beta blockers that I'd been prescribed for my heart palpitations. And I said, I'm not taking them because I want to know what the cause is of my racing pulse and heart palpitations. And she said, all right, well, what do you think might be the cause? And I said, well, I've been going on for ages about having my hormones tested. And I was about to say, but I've been told that those results are normal. But I heard her tapping and she said, oh, yes, I can see. Oh, crikey, you've gone through the menopause already, or post-menopause.
Brilliant.
But everyone had said, no, we kept your ovaries when you did your hysterectomy, you retained your ovaries. Absolutely won't be the case, they've nodded off yet. It's only been, no time at all. But
I think what it's really showing is that people just don't necessarily know. So, and everybody's different as well. And I think that was the big highlighting thing, is that no two people go through it in the same way. So yes, you might have some symptoms that are similar to somebody else, but and the other thing is that the number of times that they suggest you go on to antidepressants.
Yes. Exactly.
I have a packet of unopened because I'm like, I know I'm not depressed. It's not what it is. There we go. Right.
Oh, do you know, and Sue's just at the same.
Sewing around here. Sewing around here?
Sue?
No,
we're not suing.
Not suing anyone. We're just sewing.
Even if we are in a bar mood sometimes.
Yeah.
Not suing anything.
No.
Sue Langford says, worst mistake was taking antidepressants. I knew it was bad when I realised I went from feeling too much to not feeling anything at all. Good or
Awful.
bad. I took myself off and I had to write it out and hope for the best. The ironic thing is, an enormous number of women in perimenopause are on antidepressants.
Hang on, I'm just going to do exactly the same. I know. I'm going to put another layer of your tape around, and then I'm going to put the lining on top. Sandwich. Yes.
Sandwich she is. But that's the stupid thing, is we are giving antidepressants to women whose first call really should be to adjust their hormones. Is this hormone related? And then if it doesn't help, then of course antidepressants is something that can be looked at. They have their place.
Of course they do, and I'm not knocking them at all.
Hormones being out of check, or vitamin depletion's another thing. If you're very vitamin depleted, if you're critically low on folic acid, for example, it will cause you to feel depressed and anxious, and that's
Do you think that as a society, we depend too much on the doctors rather than doing our own independent research? I mean, I know, like, being a Google doctor is not safe either. I think there's an in-between, isn't there? Because if you look on Google, then basically every time death is imminent, it just seems to be like, and you're dying. Am I though? But I think maybe there's a happy medium of getting educated, but getting educated from a really reliable source.
And I think the huge thing is actually, like I say, I'm going to say it again, but vitamin depletion. Why aren't we checking people's vitamin levels before we're giving them drugs?
Well, the other thing also on that is that we think that if we eat a healthy, balanced diet, but unfortunately the soils are so... they just don't. We've overused the soils. We've put insecticides and pesticides and everything on our soils that actually we can't now get everything that we need nutritionally from our food.
Well, and also
that is just so sad that we've done that to our soil. But we can't unless you can afford an organic diet. Then even the worms can't survive in our soil anymore. It's just barren. So I think that is also, it's all very relevant. I'm going to say all the way around here. This was not what you thought we were going to be talking about today, is it?
Not at all.
It wasn't what I thought we were going to be talking about. Not going to lie, but here we are. But why not?
No, why not indeed? Because I think it does need talking about. This is like Natasha and I feel could have a late night podcast, couldn't we?
Do you know what?
It'd be a sweary Mary version of it.
With a little gin in hand and away we go.
Exactly. But something else that shocked the life out of me was finding out that my B12 was ridiculously low, and that actually the culprit was a medication that I've been on for years and years and years and years. It's a really, really common medication, but it causes B12 depletion. And no one had said to me, we're putting you on this, it's fabulous, it'll do you good. However,
please
make sure you take extra B12. They didn't.
Right. Turning this through, because I know otherwise we won't get this done, and you are a walking medical journal. You are.
I'm not a walking.
You are. You are.
Listen to me. I'm practically a doctor.
Yeah. I think just because you've been through it, though. You've been
every department, but I cannot believe how many departments I've been through in the last few years. With the heart palpitations, I'm waking up in the middle of the night and putting, a monitor on. And my pulse is running as if I've been absolutely running flat out.
And I have to say, as your friend, I feel very useless. As someone who likes to fix things, it's very difficult to just, and we just have to keep throwing ideas. Yeah. I am going to sew around that. I know, look at that.
Tash, this looks so fabulous
and
professional.
Can I just thank Lisa Chandler?
Has used so little of the fabric as well. You've got all that fabric to play with.
I know.
Beautiful. Lo is with us and said,
hello.
Sorry I've missed all that, but I'm on lots of HRT and I have a great doctor who tests me every couple of months.
Oh, lucky you.
I'm going on to testosterone next month.
Brilliant, because that is the missing link.
Yeah.
And I think, the thing with testosterone, it makes us think of angry men.
Yeah.
But actually, it is also one of our hormones, and I had no idea about that, because having been an athlete, obviously testosterone was something that it was like a dirty word, because it meant that you were like drug cheating if you were on testosterone or anything like that. So it never occurred to me that it was actually a hormone that females had.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really
it really is. I am going to trim back these zips.
Absolutely. Auntie Lizzie says, I'd put the heart palpitations down to copious amounts of vodka Red Bull on a Saturday night. Well,
also not great, Auntie Lizzie.
Joking aside, one of the things, I went to see the doctor and I said, I'm feeling absolutely dreadful. And, she's testing my pulse and she's like, your pulse is racing. And, they got me to come off caffeine.
Well, this is the other thing they do, isn't it?
Yeah, saying about drinking. And I said, I don't really drink very often at all. But they took me off caffeine, so I came off caffeine.
That would be a very, very, very brave person that tried to take me off any kind of caffeine. Could you imagine?
So I came off the caffeine.
Right, Jem, I'm going to stop you there.
Oh, now
because
this is
important. So whilst we chat, we make, right? Yes. If you haven't got one of these, please invest in one. It will change your life, and it's much easier than trying to get HRT. So along the bottom, you want the flat of your zip, pull along the flat there, and the pull bit goes inside there. Now we are going to put these all face down, and you just push it together and down it goes.
Look
now
at that, so satisfying.
I know. You need to do this from both sides.
Yes.
Because otherwise it doesn't work.
You
just have the zip pulls chasing each other rather than actually being of use. So ask me how I know. I had to do a little bit of unpicking when I suddenly worked this one out. I was like, oh no. So you only need to put that on a little bit there, because you still need to be able to get these edges in to match.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
At the same time. And that's the joy of this zip pull tool, is that you can absolutely get it in to match. And then you see that your zips will do up. Otherwise, if you put them both on from the same side, you have one that does it up and then one that undoes it, and you're never going to have it done up. And it was driving me, I'm like, what have I done? This is such a me thing to do. And it's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay. All right. Fine. It's just,
not a menopause fine, which is a separate thing.
But yeah, for those of you that are saying that I've been on the beach this weekend, enjoying a bit of beach time. I've been in the fields sorting out my fencing for the horses.
And their horses.
Right, I'm going to go right sides together with my lining.
Yeah.
Oh, not my lining, my outer other. I'm just going to sew along that bottom edge. Can you camera change Gemma please for me? Thank you very much.
So over on YouTube, we have Cynthia with us.
Hi, Cynthia. Ohio to you.
Ohio to you as well. Ginny Mackey says, sorry I'm late, I couldn't get in on Facebook. Ginny, we've got lots of people on Facebook, my love, so I don't know
And
why.
overhead.
Overhead is coming.
Thank you,
I have to go from one screen to another to another.
I know. I'm going to open out that zip a little bit here.
That's all right.
Okay. And I'm now going to take one of my lining pieces to the other side. Okay. And line those up. I'm going to leave a turning through gap. Okay. But I am going to sew along that bottom edge, leaving a turning through gap.
Marvellous. Oh, Fiona, I'm sending you lots of love because Fiona says, Tash, I've been going to the doctor thinking I'm going through the menopause, yet they've done nothing. My partner does not understand my mood swings and irrational behaviour. Oh, it's so crippling.
Can I just say as well on that, like it is real and it is crippling, and I really feel for you. And you know, as a single woman trying to navigate dating and all of this, I really feel for you, because the insecurities that it can throw up and everything else that feel irrational, and you know that it's irrational, and you know that you're not behaving in a way that is, you know, it's tough, and it's that's what I mean. Partners need to read the book.
Yeah,
they need to read the book so they know.
But the Davina programmes are really short. There's a couple of them. They're on, I think it's BBC iPlayer, but you'll be able to find them, or is it Channel 4 maybe? But they're on catch up, and just perhaps pop those on whilst
while they're in the room. Perfect. Can we please go overhead, because this is another vital bit.
She's also going on a sewing retreat next month, Tash. They're doing dress up, and the theme for the weekend is menopause, mobile, purple passion.
Amazing. I love this already. Now.
Love menopausal.
You have got two sides to this, right? You've got your outer fabric. Line your outer fabric. There's your middle seam there. Line that to the zip, okay? And you are going to flatten that out and pin.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ginny, I'm sending lots of hello as well, and Ginny says we should all talk more like this. Well done, ladies.
Well,
that's just off the cuff, to be honest.
Yeah, we didn't plan any of it. It's just that I've been listening to it, and I was just like, do you know what? If I am feeling this rubbish, there are other people that are going to be feeling this rubbish as well. Now, here, this is my lining. I'm going to do the same. That's my seam. I'm going to line that up with the middle of my zip. I'm going to flatten that out. Now you can pin them all together, but you've got to have your lining. So you've got that sandwich again. You're lining one side, then the zip, and then your outer fabric on the other side. You see, I grew up in my grandmother and my great grandmother, they had babies rather than the menopause. They had late babies, so they were they considered that they were done when they came out the other side. And now I'm just going to stitch across there, making sure everything is lined up. I've got my lining fabric, my zip, and then my outer fabric on the bottom there.
Okie dokie.
And I'm just going to show you that on a close-up, because this is really important.
Really, really important.
There's your lining. If I spin it around. So the seams, those side seams are now centred on the middle of that zip. It's really, and this is why, you know, having the demo, we're so lucky, because we can show you that. It's important.
But yeah, there's thoughts that it would be brilliant for us to have a late night version. There probably wouldn't be any sewing in the late night version. It would just
be gin and chat.
Gin and expletives, I should imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Fiona, I'm going to say, get yourself to the GP, phone and ask to speak to. Someone will be a specialist in women's issues / menopause at your clinic.
Again, middle seam to the middle of the zip.
This is why so many women now are paying to go to private menopause clinics.
Yeah.
And it's shocking that we have to, but people are, and they're paying to have that appointment. It's costing them hundreds and hundreds of pounds, but once it's done and they're prescribed, generally that prescription can go back and be fulfilled through the NHS.
I mean, the thing is, you say that, but the testosterone isn't available on prescription through the NHS.
No.
If your doctor is happy to prescribe it unlicensed, then that's fine. But how many doctors are prepared to do that?
They're not.
So you have to pay your hundreds of pounds to go and see a specialist.
Yeah. But the main
hang on.
medication.
Now, there's that seam on my lining, lining up to the back of my zip, middle of the back of the zip there. And then again, and if you want to use lots of pins, I'm going to find more pins. I'm not going to do that on a close up. I'm going to find more pins and pin it.
That's fine. Oh, Marie says, great conversation, ladies. Part of being a woman, so good to have this conversation in a safe place.
Well, yeah, and I did think, I don't normally share private and personal things on here. You know, I share a bit, but not, you can imagine, you know, having gone through a divorce in the last 2 years, it's not what everyone wants to hear about. So, you know, and then having had a relationship that didn't work after that, it's been tough. And yeah, and being made to feel like I was going a bit mad is not okay.
Not fun.
Right, straight across there. I mean, I might be. Let's not rule this out. This is me.
Well, there is madness.
There is a bit.
There's madness within.
But I can normally keep a lid on it.
Or at least, you know, some semblance of normality.
Pretend. Yeah. I'm
Jimmy
just going to say across there.
Poor Jimmy. Jimmy has arrived.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Welcome to the world of women today.
To the menopause. Also, Lois saying about B12. She says that you can use a spray in the mouth vitamin B12. I've not heard of this. I have injections.
Trim that back.
But yeah, the medication you've mentioned similar to the one that I was on that stops your body from absorbing B12. And you're never told.
It's going to look like this. I'm not going to lie. And you don't want it looking like this. So you were going to find that turning through gap.
Yeah, don't panic when yours looks like this.
It will. It's fine.
Don't panic.
It's all fine.
You're looking at it and thinking, oh no, that's horrible. What have I made? It's horrible.
A mess.
No,
made a mess.
Isn't it awful when you get to that stage of a project and you're like, I've ruined it. It's definitely ruined.
Yeah.
Don't panic.
Turn it through. Take that time to turn it through. Get to the furthest point and then turn that through. It is all good. Do you know what? This is where I discovered that actually interfacing the lining works so much nicer than anything else. And I feel like, oh. So there that is. Now, whilst this is this way round, I am going to open it up and give it a little press for a starter. Being careful, again, all this time that I'm pressing, I'm not actually pressing the nylon zip. Please do not melt your zip teeth, because that would be a shame. If you have a pressing ham,
oh yes,
now would be a great time to get that out.
You've got one as well.
Yeah,
Have you taken it to Cornwall, or is it on your trolley? I think it might be on your trolley.
It might be over here.
Work wife kicks in again. Kay seems to be writing my life story here, which is quite funny. Bless her. She woke up in her early 20s, Tash, one morning, and her face was all swollen as if she'd done 10 rounds in a boxing ring.
Oh, I know that one. I know that one.
She said her mother had it happen around the same age and called it the emotional allergy. But I'd suffered with terrible hives. I mean, I'm still on medication now. But she was also perimenopausal in her 30s and then early 40s. And
I'm just going to sew up that turning through gap. I had Emily at 39. Just before I turned 40, and I would wake up. I woke up one morning and my feet itched, and then I woke up the next morning and my palms itched. And I thought, well, that means you're coming into money. No, I didn't.
Sadly, no.
Sadly, no. Thanks, old wives' tale. That's a rubbish one. And then by the end of the week, my skin was covered in hives. And Freddie used to look at me, he said, it looks like, Mummy, you look like you've been stung by a million bees.
Yeah, you did.
And I wanted to rip my skin off. And this happened every day for over 4 months. And I would turn up to the doctors in tears. I took photos. And I'm so glad I took photos because it's really easy to think that I was over-egging it and over-exaggerating. But when I look back at these photos, like, crikey, how did I hold it together with a new baby that just wanted to be on me the whole time whilst wanting to rip my skin off.
You don't want anything touching you at that point.
Yeah, and And actually, I put that right with fasting, which was incredible. But it fixed my hormones.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be the be all and end all. And that was just an off the cuff conversation with an immunologist that went, "Oh, have you tried fasting?" And I was like, "I don't know what is that?" And it was amazing. So I didn't think anything else of it. But now when I look back, because my whole face would just explode, and I'd have a big fat lip, it was awful. Awful. And it was actually, Gemma, because you'd been through it and you knew what I was. Exactly. And there was one day where I was just driving and I felt it come up, my whole face start to swell. I just drove myself and Emily straight to A&E.
You rang me and I said go straight to A&E because it's around your mouth as well, and it could be near your throat.
Just going to sew that.
You just don't know whether it's going to affect you at that point and whether it's going to go to your throat. So I was like, just drive straight to A&E.
And interestingly, there was a lovely dog. He was very handsome actually, very handsome. I think he was South African doctor. Not that it matters. And he was really concerned and he was really sweet. And I just remember him being incredibly kind. And when I felt very, very vulnerable and very, very scared. And I bumped into him at, it's called The Farm down in Snitterfield.
Yeah,
it's like and he came and he asked me how I was. He remembered me. And he said, "You know what, I'd never seen anyone with your symptoms presenting as you were." He said, and then I spoke to a friend of mine who had a baby the same age as yours, and she was going through exactly the same thing. And so he's like, "I'm going off to research it now."
Oh, bless him.
It was just amazing. Do you want to see this now? Turn through.
Yes, please. We have the star moments, everybody. This make has been so straightforward. Look at that. It's just lining those seams up, isn't it? And concentrating when you do it. So you've got the demo to look back on. Natasha, that looks so swish.
Give it a good press, and if you have to roll a towel or something to get that, press, do it. Do. But yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that gorgeous? Now, if I was to do that again, I would probably take into account that actually on my template, where you have the little cutout bits, that's going to be the very base, and I'd probably lift that up a little bit.
From
or does
here,
it look like it's just sitting
on the surface? No, it's sitting on the table. It literally looks like it's sat on the table.
So that is my little pouch.
I love that.
And so then you can fit loads in there. Look. It's a proper get your hand in job.
It is. And lined and everything.
All lined. Do you know what? It didn't make a jot of difference having the interfacing on the lining at all. In fact, I quite like it. So don't worry, whichever way round you do it. Well, there you go. But you see, look, so you can really fill that with, look at that, with all your goodies.
Fabulous. It's fabulous. And looks so professional. It's brilliant. What a nice thing to be able to make and fill with goodies and gifts.
It's going to look amazing once it's all fully pressed as well.
And I have to say, how many of us have got some gorgeous Philip Jacobs designed fabrics?
Well, anything like that. These big designs are just going to look...
You could feature those on there beautifully. Yeah.
Do you know what? That Waratah on the Lisa Chandler border stripe would also be amazing.
Beautiful.
So there we go. That is it.
Amazing, Tash.
That is today's show.
We have we have lots of comments. Lots and lots of comments. Jimmy updating everyone on various travel-related issues coming back from retreat.
Oh, right. How was your retreat, Jimmy?
Not so grand on the travel front.
Oh, dear. Right. Just going to finish that press.
Lots of ladies saying, "Oh, dear, Jimmy, I think you'll need a quilt to hide behind." And Jimmy, actually, no, seems to be somewhat of an, authority on the menopause. And,
brilliant. I love that. And men should
now
be.
Very clucky over the fact that he understands women. Which is
Jimmy, you've become our favourite man.
Exactly, if you weren't already. So, yes, lots of that going on. Lots of people saying they've had all sorts of different symptoms, the same, and all of that kind of stuff. I will say, actually, if you go into perimenopause symptoms before 40, it's known as premature ovarian insufficiency. Some, bless, go through it in their teens. Some even before they've gone through puberty properly.
It's weird, isn't it?
It can happen.
Yeah.
So anyone who gets told, no, that's not the case, you're too young, it's too early, nonsense. Just see somebody else.
There we go.
Absolutely see somebody else. Kirsty went through surgical menopause at 44. That is brutal.
Ooh.
Yes, there's a lot of fibro types around as well. Bless you, all of you.
Yeah, I think there's a link.
Yeah.
I'll have to say. There we go. So 2 very different looking pouches.
Yes. Yes, and actually, Jimmy, you will have missed this at the start, but we have beautiful Robert Kaufman.
We do have beautiful Robert Kaufman.
With lovely metallics, and then the one that Natasha's demoed in
is Elisa Chandler. So actually, Jimmy, where you are, you're best getting that from Lisa herself in Australia.
It's Summer Palace, which is her beautiful collection that has they've got like tea houses and beautiful urns, and it's stunning.
Oh, Jimmy, bless me, says we do need to know, as we have to take the load and understand it. Oh, bless you, if only more were there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Ladies, we will read all of these. Thank you. Yeah. So thank you, and thank you for all your words. I didn't really intend for the show to be quite like that, but happens, doesn't it? And there we go. So yeah, thank you. We love you all. You know that. And we will see you here tomorrow. Do you want to see what I've showed you what we're making tomorrow.
There's lots of people telling you look fabulous, sending you lots of love, saying they didn't realise so much had happened in your life recently. It's fantastic, you're still going strong.
Oh, yeah.
Glad that I dove into the show, and besides the fantastic demo of the zip bag, whilst having a wonderful conversation topic. It's been really helpful. Lots of people saying it's been really helpful. But yeah.
Well, you're not alone. I think that's the big thing in it, isn't it? Exactly. You know, and we can all look like we're managing.
Yeah.
It's not always the case.
Yeah.
Not always the case. But having good friends is the thing, and having people to talk to is also the thing.
Lowe's said apparently cold water swimming helps as well, which is not the first time I've heard that. I think for me with fibro, it'd feel like I was having knives shoved in every single drink. So I probably can't go for that. But otherwise...
Tomorrow, we play with the fabric and we make this.
Yes.
In what? Okay, one piece of fabric.
Yes.
Unless if you want the tabs, obviously it's 2. But otherwise, one piece of fabric will make you this. And I just want to show you. Look at the pretty little corners. Aren't they gorgeous?
It's grand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow.
Dead chuff with that.
Who knows what we'll talk about tomorrow? My goodness, it's turning into loose women here, isn't it?
What are you saying?
Take care, everybody, and lots and lots of love. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.